Welcome back, bros, to another video review. And today I am bringing to you a new figure, a new toy. And this is going to be the Transformers Rise of the Beast Autobots Unite Megatron. So for the contents, this is what we get inside. We get the figure Megatron himself, and we get the accessory, which is a piece that interacts with Megatron, which is that red cube looking piece. And then the actual instructions on this figure is on the packaging, just like we got with those Alpha Bravo figures that you would find at like Walgreens and stuff like that, or at Family Dollar, just to name those two stores. So here we are taking a closer look at the Megatron figure from the Autobots Unite line. And I must say, this figure is definitely giving me that first Transformer Bayverse movie vibes of Megatron. So yes, it's a long time ago, but I thought the figure looked cool on the shelf when I saw it, so I had to pick it up. And just looking at the details on this figure, it has a lot of details molded in this plastic. Yes, the painted details are very limited because the only thing painted is Megatron's red eyes. And then if you turn him to the side, Megatron's tank treads or mechanical details where the tank treads are the only thing painted on this figure. But overall, like I said, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. I think it turned out well. And I like the way, it looks. It just looks good. And for them to give us a Megatron figure that we didn't have because of the movie, I think it's pretty cool. As for the articulation on this figure, the shoulder rotates a full 360. As you can see, the arm or the elbow joint can have this rotate up as this far or all the way up if you would prefer. But that is mainly due for transformation. There is no waist swivel, but the head can rotate left and right, and that is due because of transformation. The leg can kick up this high. It does not have a knee bend. It can't rotate, but it can swivel right here. And that's pretty much all the articulation this small figure is going to get. Oh, the arms, you can have them like a butterfly right here, and that's due to transformation if you would like to have Megatron, I don't know, holding his hips or whatever you want to do. But other than that, that's all the articulation we get for this little figure. So let's go ahead and continue the review and bring out some other figures for comparisons. So here we are for comparisons. Here I'm comparing the Autobots Unites Megatron with some of the smaller figures that I have on my shelf. Mainly, I bought this figure to go on my weaponizer shelf because Hasbro did not give us a Terracon weaponizer to go with this line. I felt like you dropped the ball if you're going to give us the Autobots and the Maximals, but you don't give us a Terracon or Decepticon. So I figured this Megatron would fill that void. Unfortunately, it is a little too small where I would like to have it. It needs to be another head on top of Megatron to make him the same height to fit that shelf. When comparing this Megatron to the Studio Series, as you can see with Studio Series Mirage, Megatron is not but like a head shorter than Mirage. And we all know that the plastic count on the Studio Series is definitely greater in weight and more complex than what you've seen with the Autobots Unites Megatron. When comparing it with the RC Studio Series, I think the scale looks right because Megatron is a huge bot. And then also compare it with the little Dark of the Moon crosshairs. I don't remember what figure or what it's called, but maybe Legion line or something. But I think it scales well too with the Megatron from the Autobots Unite line. So now it's time for transformation on this little guy. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you now, but it's pretty simple, but also pretty cool. So basically what we're going to do is start off by folding up the hands. There's a peg right there. Make sure it gets pegged in. And then on this side, do the same thing. It's going to snap. And then for the legs, you're going to compress the treads down so that they're back hidden. For the legs, go ahead and angle them into a tank-like position for the treads. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the part right here and take Megatron's head and chest torso region, pull it all the way down. You can go ahead and now rotate Megatron's head because it wants you to do that. Push it all the way up. Lock in the peg right here to where this slot is for Megatron to form the bottom lower half of the tank, and it locks in and pegs right there. Now you can just go ahead and fold these treads down to give it that more tank-like look. And basically right here, Megatron is pretty much done, but it wants you to add the accessory to it. And this accessory allows it to have a gimmick. So I think that's pretty cool. So let me include it. And this is what we get for Megatron. Megatron in his tank mode. And it actually looks pretty good in this vehicle mode, in my opinion. As for the details on this figure, it's not a really lot up here. It is a lot of molded stuff, so there's not a lot of paint details. Like I was telling you, in Robot, you got the painted treads right here. You got the painted right here. This is just the molded plastic. You got painted right here. And then here we got painted. I don't know if it's coming across in the camera, but we have a white painted Decepticon symbol, which looks really cool, and I like it. But overall, like I said, I'm happy with the way this figure turned out. I know it's not a mainline release figure, but it's a good gimmick figure in my opinion. So before we get to Megatron's comparison in his alt mode, I have to show off the gimmick first because I think that's what sells the toy. So basically, once you have him transform and you have this accessory plugged into Megatron, you can now activate the gimmick. Yes, it has wheels up here and it does roll very well. As you can see, it's just the way my table is. It makes a lot of noise. So to show off the gimmick, basically what we want to do is we're going to go in and push down this lever like so. And then when you let go, Megatron takes off. How cool is that? So let's try it again. Just to show it off in case you missed it. Megatron took off again. So yes, I think this is a pretty cool gimmick for children to play with. And not only that, collectors. Because at least for me, I love toys with gimmicks. So I think this is a pretty cool toy, in my opinion. And here we are for my final comparisons with Megatron in its alt mode. As you can see, compared with these various different figures from different lines. Megatron does appear out of scale unless you really compare Megatron to that Legion class Dark of the Moon crosshairs. I think that's the only scale that kind of works in his alt mode. But other than that, as you see, he's definitely out of scale compared to the Weaponizers and also the Studio Series RC. So now we have reached the portion of my review where I like to do the Yeah Bro figure pickup or the pass segment of this review, where I like to share my opinions and my thoughts on this recent pickup to help inform you and educate you, basically to give you a better understanding of this toy in which you are looking at to ultimately decide if you want to pick up or pass on this figure. So as for me, guys, because I am a gimmick man and I love gimmick toys, I'm going to say this is a pickup because for me, having a gimmick in a toy just creates a ton of playability. And just to look at this figure, I feel like they executed very well because it does represent Megatron from the first Transformers movie that was released way back then. In addition to that, the details on this figure, the paint details, they are minimal, but there is some good painted details, especially to form this flying tank mode that Megatron had in that movie. Now, when it comes to the molding on this figure, it is a brand new mold. I do not recall this mold being used in the past for any other toys, but maybe I'm wrong because I feel like they had a Igniters toy line back in the day. I just don't remember seeing Megatron there in it, but if it was, then yes, this is just a repaint or a reissue to go with the Transformers Rise of the Beast line. So guys, if you're interested in picking up a copy of this figure as I did, I found my copy at my local Ross Dress for Less store where I paid $3.99 plus taxes, and I do think that is a fair price for this type of toy that Hasbro has given us. So if you're paying more for this figure, whether it's online retailers or third-party sites, do not do that. Go search your local Ross, because this figure is 9 times out of 10 going to be sitting right there on the shelf waiting for you to pick up if you would like to pick up this figure and add them to your collection. As always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. By doing these 4 actions, it shows my channel a tremendous amount of support, and not only that, positive feedback as a YouTube content creator. In addition to that, guys, please don't forget to turn on your notification bells so you will be notified when I upload a new video for you to check out. Thank you once again for spending your time watching my video, and until next time, yeah, bro, I'll see you soon.